And this was a tidal current that we're talking about, not a rip current, which is what we often hear about when we're talking about beach drownings, and something that we just kind of need to keep in mind when we're talking about some of these beaches.
Right, and be aware of the moon phase, surprisingly enough. It's the moon that really creates higher and lower tides, which in between those is when we're going to have those stronger currents. So let's talk about this, why the moon is associated with this. So here you have the orbit of the moon around the Earth, and when you have a full moon, that's when you're getting a stronger gravitational pull from the moon on the water or the oceans around the world. And it's not just the moon that's pulling on the water, but it's also the sun creating this bulge of those tides, so high tides and low tides. So you combine the pull of the moon and the pull of the sun, and you're going to get much higher and lower tides as a result of that full and that new moon. Now, why does that matter? Well, when you have the water rushing towards high tide or low tide, you're going to have more of that water rushing into Tampa Bay. So that water rushes in before high tide, and immediately after high tide, all that water starts flowing out of the mouth of the bay. So what does that mean for us today? Well, here's our high and low tide maps here. So we're right in between high tide going to low tide. Now, the tides are a little different here in the immediate Bay Area, but as we get towards 310, a larger high tide, and then immediately after that, the water is going to flow out of the bay, meaning that water is going to be rushing. You're going to have stronger tidal currents, and it'll be between 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock this evening when we could have strong currents once again.